Hey YouTube, it's Paradiddleluke here, first review done by me for YouTube. It will be of the Canon 15 to 85 IS USM. This is an EFS lens, meaning it is for their 1.6 crop factor cameras. Here it is. It is a nice looking lens, great build quality, very solid in the hand. And I am reviewing it on a Rebel T1i. So in this review, I will be going over the build quality, image quality, USM focusing. I will also do size comparisons to the other lenses I have, along with the camera body it is on, autofocus speed, you name it, I'm going to try to hit it. So enjoy. Okay, first we're going to go over the build quality of this lens. First off, it's a very wide lens. It's a 72mm lens, which is not uncommon for the filter size, 72mm, which is not uncommon for higher quality lenses. The thing that is uncommon about this one is it's very short for the size to be a 72mm. So it's almost as wide at the top as it is long. So that's pretty, you don't see that every day. As far as build quality goes, it is not an L lens. There is no red ring. It is not weather sealed. That is the only difference, pretty much, between this and an L lens. Yes, it would be nice if it had a red ring. Yes, it would be nice if it was weather sealed. But it's not. The build quality is still great. It is a double barrel, as you can see, which did have me concerned when I was looking at this lens. However, unlike most double barrels, there really is no wobble in this, so you really don't have to worry about it as much. The zoom and focusing rings are very smooth, very, very, very well dampened. That was a major hit from Canon. They did very well on that. Along with how much focusing you get. So if you're a manual focuser, no, it's not going to be a Carl Zeiss, but it's a lot bigger a throw for your manual focusing than, say, a Sigma 17 to 70. Okay, so it is, of course, a metal mount. It is an EFS mount. So this one is made in Taiwan, and similarly with all the other EFS lenses, there is no date code on it. That's one thing that you should be aware of. So if you're buying it, you really don't know, in the future, you don't know how old it actually is, because there is no date code for when or where it was made. So yeah, that's the build. Okay, I'm going to do two parts on the size. I'm going to do the size of the lens versus other lenses that some of you may know, and I'm going to do the size on the T1i gripped and not gripped. So here's the size of the 15 to 85 versus the 50 1.8. Obviously, the 50 1.8 being Canon's smallest lens that they make, it's a lot smaller. Now I have a 80 to 200 2.8 by Tokina. It's a rather old lens, very, very heavy, very, very big. Here's size comparison. As you can see, and let's fully extend the 15 to 85, still a lot shorter than the 80 to 200. Okay, now we're going to compare it to the T1i, gripped and ungripped. Here is ungripped first. Now, I don't know about you, I have large hands. I personally can't stand the Rebel bodies ungripped, so I always have mine gripped. Though this is the first time actually mounting the 15 to 85 on an ungripped camera, and it's a little front heavy, but it's not really that bad. Okay, and here it is on a gripped body. Much better balance if you ask me. Again, I have bigger hands and I shoot portrait a lot, so I really like the grip with this lens. The balance is nicer, it's not quite as front heavy, but even on a not gripped body, it's really not that bad. When I was looking at this lens and other lenses such as the 17 to 70 by Sigma, the HSM model, which does not have true HSM, but it does have a hypersonic motor, it's just not full-time manual. One of the things after I tried a USM true full-time manual lens that I liked was how silent it is, how quick it is, and how you can grab the ring and do any fine tweaks that you want. For me, this is important. I do, some close-up photography that I like to choose exactly where I like. I'll let the camera get close to the focusing, but I like to fine-tune it. I use back button focus. If you don't, then this is not a feature that will really appeal to you as much, because when you repress the shutter button, your camera will just fix whatever manual focus you did. But for me, I use back button, and the shutter button does not do any focus, so I really like this feature. Again, the dampening on the focus ring is very nice. Okay, here's focusing from infinity to macro and then back to infinity. As you can see, very fast. As you can hear, very silent. So one of the turnoffs for this lens, for me at least, was the variable aperture. It is not a constant 4, it's not a constant 2.8. It is a 3.5 to 5.6, just like the standard 18 to 55 IS kit lens or the non-IS or a bunch of other variable aperture lenses. Now, that gives it a really bad reputation from most people. However, one thing about this lens that I really like, no matter what focal length you're at, wide open, this copy of this lens at least, wide open is sharper than any other lens I have, stopped down 2 stops or more. It's sharper than my 50 prime, the 1.8 Mark II. It's sharper than my Tokina Telephoto 2.8. It's an amazingly sharp lens. I usually don't have to worry about low light. When I'm shooting low light, generally it's with strobes, so I can stop down anyway. When I do worry about low light, for instance, I'm doing a band shoot tonight, I'm probably going to be using my 51.8 for 95% of the shots. It is by no means a low light lens, and for me, usually when I need low light, even 2.8 isn't enough, which is why I didn't really need the 17 to 50 2.8 by Tamron. So yeah, that really wasn't that much of a turnoff to me, just because of those reasons. The image quality, it's just astounding. The colors are amazing. The saturation is great. This lens has really cut my post-production time down, because it comes out with great contrast, great saturation, just great sharpness. I don't have to worry about noise reduction because I don't have to worry about sharpening. I've actually had to turn sharpness down on some of my pictures. Okay guys, check this next picture out. This one I shot a few days ago while walking my dog, just walking around. It was under harsh light, by no means an easy exposure for the camera. I shot this raw and actually had to turn my sharpness down in Lightroom 3 from 25 to 0. 25 is what it sets standard to my picture settings. I had to turn it down, and this is what it comes out with. This next one I shot on white seamless of myself, so focusing was a bit tricky, but check out the sharpness. I'll post the picture and a 100% crop. Okay, this next shot just shows how accurate the focusing is in extremely low light, and it shows how useful the image stabilization is as well. This was shot at around 12:50 a.m. I guess, at a train station around here. It was pretty dark, as you can see there's some surrounding light. I used 2 strobes, no flash focus assist, and the USM just locked on great. I didn't have to do any manual adjusting. It just locked on very well in low light. And the 4-stop IS, I've gotten pretty close to 4 stops. Usually they're a bit, liberal in how much they say it actually helps, but I've gotten pretty damn close. Hey guys, hope this review helped you in your lens choice. If you don't choose this lens, don't feel bad. It is a great lens, but it's not for everyone. If you need something quicker, this is definitely not what you should be looking at. If you're looking for a great walk around for a crop sensor, this is probably the best one there is. So if you have any questions, send me an email, send me whatever. I'll include my email at the side of this page. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you have or post many more sample pictures. Good luck with your lens purchases.